We have Ann Hassel. Ann, thank you for visiting with us. It's my understanding that you've had the opportunity to observe firsthand some of the practices underway within the retail cannabis industry, regulated in Massachusetts. Would you care to share this with our audience, please?
I was a licensed physical therapist who went to work as a budtender in a Massachusetts marijuana dispensary for a year and a half. I was very excited to go to work in the marijuana industry. Entering the green rush was my dream. I had consumed and grown the marijuana plant off and on for decades, even went to jail for growing it during the war on drugs. I strongly believed that not only was marijuana non-addicting and non-harmful, but that it was a beneficial healing plant. A budtender works behind the counter and completes the retail selling of marijuana, showing buds and weighing them on a scale, answering questions, and making recommendations. Marijuana-infused products have the highest profit margins and are made from concentrate oil. They include vape cartridges and edibles. As a budtender, I learned this is not about a natural plant. This is all about an addictive and harmful, unnatural commodity produced by a deceptive, dangerous industry focused on the almighty dollar. The marijuana industry engages in unethical and illegal practices harmful to physical and mental health. I am truly embarrassed to admit that I kept working there despite what I witnessed and experienced, but my mind was impaired by high THC. I saw many disturbing practices, and here are a few. 1, harmful and deceptive sales. We were told by management to withhold important information from customers, such as our use of out-of-state synthetically derived hemp CBD crystalline instead of growing a CBD marijuana plant. Besides being a complete rip-off, out-of-state synthetically derived hemp CBD crystalline caused neurological problems, including seizures. In order to have the edibles tested a certain potency, my corporation put in more than double the amount of THC for brownies and 1.5 times the amount for other edibles. We were told that this was because the labs could not properly test for THC. I was very worried about my customers overdosing on THC, especially the elderly and inexperienced marijuana users, but I was unable to alert them to the danger. 2, microbial contamination. I and all the other small-scale marijuana growers I have known never had a mold problem. With commercialized, industrialized indoor grows with large numbers of plants crammed in a space, high energy lights and water reservoirs, the environment is humid and hard to control. Mold is a known problem in the industry. When I worked in the cultivation center, I trimmed moldy marijuana for 8 hours. I was very alarmed, but was told to cut around the mold and that concentrate production would take care of it. I saw moldy marijuana in the dispensary. I sold moldy marijuana to customers. I was told to pick off the really moldy parts of the bud and sell the rest. This is dangerous, for if a bud has visible mold, then the whole thing is contaminated. This is happening in other states. 80% of marijuana on Denver dispensary shelves failed from mold. Microbes in marijuana are dangerous. Marijuana from a California dispensary contained a fungus and killed a man. 3, masking contamination with remediation. Remediation allows contaminated marijuana to be sold. That's why my corporation dunked moldy marijuana into barrels of caustic hydrogen peroxide, so caustic it burnt the workers' arms. My corporation told us this was an industry standard. This practice masks the mold so it passes the lab testing. Concentrate production is another form of remediation. The marijuana industry says this is safe, however, scientists have issued warnings. 4, pesticides and heavy metal contamination. Illegal pesticides are applied to marijuana crops, but as with mold, there are ways around the lab testing. My corporation found a way. 30% of California dispensaries had marijuana poisoned with banned pesticides. Heavy metals are in cheap, low-end nutrients and fertilizers. My state only tests for 4 heavy metals, and there are many more. If marijuana is contaminated with pesticides and heavy metals, then the concentrate made from it has greatly increased toxicity. Customers and coworkers describe serious neurological symptoms after consuming my corporation's products. When I quit my job as a budtender, I was physically unwell, heavy metal poisoned, over 3 times the norm for lead. Last December in Massachusetts, 12% of dispensary vape cartridges that had passed the lab testing for lead failed when retested, 1 over 50 times the lead limit. If my governor had not issued the vape ban, then these lead-poisoned vape cartridges would have been sold and consumed. People assume that if marijuana is legal and state-sanctioned, it is safe. This is a very dangerous assumption. Supporters of a commercialized, industrialized marijuana industry like to point to Massachusetts as a beacon of success. In actuality, if you could see what I, a budtender, saw behind the cannabis curtain, working in a dispensary, in a cultivation center, you would understand that states with legalized marijuana have sanctioned an illusion of safety. You need to pay attention to the industry behind the curtain, perceive the dangerous reality.